The topic we're going to cover today is how you handle ambiguous requirements. Now, this video is going to be valuable to you, one, if you're new to business analysis and you just want to understand how you deal with ambiguous requirements, and also if you are preparing for a business analyst interview to think through how you might want to answer that question. So let's dig in. First, it is the job of the business analyst to clarify your requirements. So a question like, how do you handle ambiguous requirements, is really just asking, how do you do your job? Now, to best understand this question, I think we should try to tackle it with maybe a more, an easier to understand example that most people can kind of wrap their head around. And then we'll go back to a more real example in a real business domain. So we can kind of see both that if you haven't worked in the industry yet, I'll give you an example so you could conceptually understand why we do it this way. And then if you're wanting something a little bit more concrete, a little bit more real world, I'll give an example for that as well. So let's say your boss gives you the requirement, I want to go on a trip. Now, most adults who have ever gone on a trip know that that is an extremely vague requirement, that it begs so many questions. And so in the BA world, in the BA domain, you might get a requirement that you don't know is vague because you don't fully understand how complex it is to deal with that space. But a vacation, I think most of us could wrap our head around. And so the first thing you should ask in either scenario is why? Why do you want to go on a vacation? It seems like a very simple thing. If they want to go on a vacation, why ask them why? But it's important, right? If you want to go on a trip, are you going on a trip to relax? Are you going on a trip because you want to sightsee? Are you going on a trip because you like hiking and camping? Those are very different trips. One might be to a spa, one might be to a city with lots of things to see, one might be into the wilderness, right? And so the why is the most important thing to ask really before you talk about anything else, because that's going to inform how you clarify any other points. So let's say you ask the why and your boss says they want to, it's been a long time since their friends all reconnected. So she just wants to have a relaxing trip with some of her old friends. And so now we got a why. Now we can start pursuing a little bit further, right? So now that we have the why and now that we have some context, now we could say, okay, who are the friends? What friends are coming? Who's coming on this trip? Right now, you get and that essentially becomes your stakeholders. These are the other people who are going to be involved in this business process, right? They're going to be on the trip. They're going to be impacted by this trip. And so you want to understand the things that they love to do and don't like to do, any constraints like allergies, maybe somebody has a disability that you need to account for, whatever it may be. These people have become your stakeholders. Now, you also have to account for people not coming on the trip, right? Does your boss have kids? Now you need childcare. So that means you're adding another stakeholder. That childcare, is grandma available at the time that you want to go on this trip? Is she willing to watch your kids? And so now you have another stakeholder, right? So another person you need to consider whenever you're breaking out your requirements. Ooh, excuse me. Next, you'll want to clarify some specifics about the trips. What kind of activities would they like to do? Different people have very different needs. I kind of mentioned before about sightseeing, hiking, camping. What kind of people are these? Are these super active people who might want a day to go jet skiing? Are these people who want to be pampered and go to a spa for a day? Are these people who are interested in nightlife? Maybe want to go dancing or to a club or to a bar or karaoke, open mic karaoke, whatever it might be. Now that you have the stakeholders, you're starting to clarify a little bit lower level in the requirements. We know we want a trip. What kinds of things do we want to do on this trip, right? And then once you kind of eke all that out, then you start to put some structure on it. So, and it may not be that you're saying, oh, we're going to go to this hotel or resort or this cruise. You're just putting it at a high enough level so people conceptually agree this is what we want, right? Maybe one day of pampering with an evening ending at a nice restaurant and maybe a nightclub. One day of just beach activities where you're on the beach playing volleyball, doing jet skis, going on boat rides, whatever it is. You just kind of lay out all the things that you want to see so you can see them all together and kind of say, hey, if we're going to be doing this, right, if you're doing a whole day of activities and that's what you want to do, that probably shouldn't be on the same day as the night you want to go out to a club because you guys will be super tired and it won't be as fun. And so making sure that the group of activities that you've put together actually work well together. Then once you have that, you put it together in a nice little package and you validate with everybody, yeah, these are the things that we want to do? Are these the considerations we want to make for this trip? If yes, now it's time to start finding the solution, which, if you're clarifying vague requirements at this point, you've done it. You've clarified the requirements. They're no longer vague or ambiguous. And now you can start looking at the different solutions, aka resorts, cruises, or whatever, that are going to meet all of those needs. Now, to sum up what I just did there in some more BA related terminology, is I essentially took the 6 concepts: context, problem, need, stakeholders, value, change, and solution. And then I use the techniques to essentially remove ambiguity, which is to question all of those things. What's really the context? What's really the value? Question who the stakeholders should be, who needs to be involved, clarify what things people need and want, put some structure around it so people can see it, and then validate it with everybody. So that is how you go about essentially making ambiguous, or taking an ambiguous requirement and then breaking it down and clarifying it into the final requirements. Now, to give that real world example, I work in the sales, marketing, and customer success landscapes relative to the platforms that are my responsibility. And one of the requirements that was given in our space was an integrated contract lifecycle management system or tool with the opportunity management system, or the sales CRM, which in this case was Salesforce. And so the first question that I would ask is, why do we want to do that? There's a lot of reasons why you want to integrate those two applications, but why are you specifically coming to me with that requirement? What are you trying to accomplish? In this case, the goal was to accomplish essentially ensuring that when an opportunity is closed and a contract is output, that it's easy to connect those two things. Because prior to this system, you go through your whole sales cycle, your opportunity is done, the customer agrees, you go into a different system, you generate the contract, you get it signed, and then it exists over there. And it's up to that salesperson to determine where they put it, but the two systems are not connected. So somebody else coming at a later point in time needs to understand what was agreed to on that opportunity. Maybe that salesperson is not even there anymore, or maybe somebody who's fulfilling part of that contract wants to see what was actually written down. It's going to be tough for them to find it. So if you could associate the two concepts, the actual opportunity to the contract itself, then now it becomes really easy. It's like, okay, that is a good reason, a valid reason to want to pursue this. So then now let's clarify that even further. Who's involved in this process? Obviously the salesperson, but it's important to keep in mind that it's not the salesperson who's asking for this process. It's the people outside of the process who want this connection, because the salesperson is able to do 100% of their job. So you need to understand how the salesperson does their job, so you build it in such a way, or the requirements in such a way, that you're not impeding on how they currently do their job. And at max, you should be helping them do their job more efficiently. And if nothing else, you need to make sure that there's a gate that prevents them from going outside the process, right? Making sure that the contract creation tool or the signing tool enforces that an opportunity can't be closed until this connection is made. That way, even if it's not the most convenient process, you're still getting your original business sponsor's requirements met. In addition to that, you're going to want to talk to those people who want these contracts after the sales process is complete, right? Are they people fulfilling the services? Are people trying to sell additional things? Whatever it may be. So when you design that process and where things are and where the buttons are and all of that, you're keeping in mind all the people who need to interact with it and gain that information, right? And so it's not just, hey, integrate the sales system with the contract system. It is integrated in such a way that it meets all these stakeholder needs, and it falls within the rules and boundaries of all the things that they're doing and in the processes. And then that's when you're going to get to all of those small little requirements, and that vague big requirement becomes that bundle of requirements that's the true requirements for the solution. One additional thing I'll add, since we are now in the age of AI, is how would you use AI to help you with this process? Well, simply put, if you're new to a domain, AI is really good at thinking up things that maybe you haven't thought of, right? It is using the collective knowledge of the entire internet. Now, the entire internet doesn't necessarily know your business specifically. So while you can ask ChatGPT, okay, my company wants to do this and integrate it with a system like that, what things should I consider? And it will spit out a pretty good list of questions that you should be asking those stakeholders, those business sponsors. But it's really the answer to those questions, right? The digging deeper, that is the value that you're bringing as a business analyst. Yes, it could come up with those questions, but somebody needs to ask them. Somebody needs to know that asking them is the thing that should be happening. In the future, could AI totally take over and ask for me and clarify all that ambiguity? Maybe. A lot of these interactions require a little bit of nudging and understanding of human beings, right? Sometimes we do things a certain way because of politics. So somebody might come to you and say, hey, yeah, we have to do it this way. This is the way the process is. And if you just feed that into the AI, it's just going to do it that way. But then if you ask, why do you do that way? Who's mandating you do it that way? Oh, that person over there. Okay, well, let me go talk to that leader and clarify why they want you to do it that way. And maybe we can have another conversation about changing that, right? And so kind of digging a little further, understanding the human spirit, if you will, and understanding sometimes politics drives things. And those politics are not necessarily sensible or the most logical way to do things the way an AI might expect them to happen. And so that people interaction is important to kind of eke out those things that sometimes require a little bit more nudging than an AI tool might be able to help you do. So to put that in a nice little neat box for you, how do you deal with ambiguous requirements? You focus on the context, problem, need, stakeholders, value, change, and solution, and focus on questioning all those things, clarifying all those things, putting some structure around those things so you could properly validate that you have the correct requirements. Give me a thumbs up if you found that video useful. If you have any additional questions, let me know in the comments and I'll either answer you there or I'll create a new video just like this one to answer your questions. So subscribe to see your questions get answered. And if you would like to dig a little deeper in this topic, I do have a course with some training and actual exercise to help you think through, and also some additional techniques to kind of undo the ambiguity of requirements with real concrete techniques. And as always, thanks for watching.